All right, let's talk about a really powerful mindset shift, one that kind of separates the wealthy from, well, everyone else. And here's the thing. It's not about just getting a bigger paycheck. It's about moving from simply earning a living to actually building real wealth. And you do that by minding your own business.
So to kick things off, I'm going to tell you a story about the guy who founded one of the biggest brands in the entire world. And on the surface, it seems like a story about hamburgers, but it's not. Not really. It reveals a surprising, fundamental truth about how wealth is actually built.
But before we get to that, let me ask you a question, a really direct one. When you go to work, you put in all those hours, all that effort. Who are you really making rich? Is it you?
I mean, think about it. Is it your boss, who owns the whole operation? Or maybe the government, taking their cut in taxes before you even see a dime? What about the bank, collecting interest on your mortgage, your car loan, your credit cards? For most of us, we spend our entire lives making everyone else rich.
And that brings us right back to our hamburger story. So picture this, it's 1974. Ray Kroc, the genius behind the whole McDonald's empire, is giving a talk to a room full of super smart MBA students. After his official speech, he goes to have a beer with them.
And while they're all just hanging out, he asks them a really simple question. He says, "What business am I in?" Well, the students kind of laugh, they think he's joking. And one of them finally just yells out the obvious answer. "Ray, come on, everyone knows you're in the hamburger business."
But Ray just kind of smiled. He said, "I'm not in the hamburger business. My business is real estate." You see, Kroc understood something huge. His profession was selling hamburger franchises, sure, but his real business, the thing that made him incredibly wealthy, was owning the valuable piece of land underneath every single one of those golden arches.
And that distinction, that little gap between your profession and your business, well, that's the whole secret to financial security. So let's break down what that difference really means.
So think of it like this. Your profession, that's your job. It's what you do, 9 to 5 to get a paycheck. But your business, that's different. That's what you own. These are the assets that are making you money even when you're sleeping.
And here's the trap that so many people fall into. Most financial struggle happens because people spend their entire lives focusing only on their profession and they totally neglect their business. We work our tails off building assets for somebody else.
As Robert Kiyosaki says, the rich focus on their asset columns while everyone else focuses on their income statements. This is it. This is the big mindset shift. You have to stop asking, how can I earn more money? And start asking, how can I own more things that make money?
Okay, so if your job isn't your business, then what is? What exactly are these things you should be putting into that asset column? So what are we talking about when we say real assets? Well, we're talking about things that put money in your pocket without you having to be there all the time. Think about stuff like a business you own but don't have to run day to day, stocks that pay out dividends, rental properties that bring in cash every single month, even things like royalties from a book you wrote or a song you created. These are things that truly work for you.
Now notice what's not on that list. Your car. Your car is a liability, not an asset. In fact, a brand new car loses something like 25% of its value the second you drive it off the lot. It's constantly taking money out of your pocket, not putting it in.
And here's a great piece of advice. Try to buy assets that you're actually interested in. I mean, if you love researching companies, maybe stocks are perfect for you. If you get excited about houses, focus on real estate. Why? Because if you love it, you're going to take care of it. You'll actually put in the effort to make it succeed. All right, now for the really fun part. Luxuries. There is a huge, huge difference in how wealthy people buy them compared to everyone else. And it all boils down to discipline and just a simple change in the order you do things. So here's how it usually goes. Most people earn income from their job, and then they use that hard-earned cash to go buy a luxury item. Simple, right? But the wealthy, they play it differently. They use their income to first buy an asset, like another rental property or more stocks. And then they use the cash flow that the asset generates to pay for the luxury. The asset buys the toy, not their own sweat and tears. And that's the rule. See, when you buy the asset first, you get the luxury item and you still have the asset that's going to keep making you money forever. It's like having your cake and eating it too. The only catch? It takes a little bit of delayed gratification. Now hold on, because this is a really important point. Minding your own business does not mean you should walk into your boss's office tomorrow and quit. Absolutely not. In fact, your day job might just be one of your most powerful tools.
You've got to start thinking of your 9 to 5 as the seed money for your future empire. Kiyosaki himself did this. He worked at Xerox, and he wasn't passionate about selling copiers, believe me, but he worked hard to get those commission checks so he could turn around and pour that money into his real estate investments. Your job is what funds the whole operation.
And here is the absolute best way to think about it. Every single dollar you put into your asset column isn't gone. You've just hired it. It's now your employee, and it's the best employee you'll ever have. It works for you 24/7, it never complains, and it can keep working for your kids and their kids. You're literally building an army of money that works for you.
So the real takeaway here is just to get started. Keep your day job, of course, but start that process of building your asset column on the side. Use that paycheck as fuel to buy things that put money back into your pocket. So I'll just leave you with this one question. What business will you start minding today?